Hi, so what I'm going to be doing in this video is just going to be building it, first of all. This is going to be taking a little bit. It takes probably like a couple of minutes, nothing too much. So there we go. We have a fresh build. And as you can see, we have no skinning or anything. So because it's just the build. The controllers were applied correctly because we are using the template that is for this specific character. But what I'm going to be doing, first of all, is going into the helpers. And I will start going into the whip mode because we are in the whip. So I'm going to be selecting this character. Let me just hide this and this and this. I'm going to be going into either this file or this file, the same. I'm going to be loading selected skin. I already saved the skin. So let me just go here. And I have the skins in this folder. I'm going to be loading it. And it's loading the skin. And the joints that we are skinning are actually the skeleton joints, are these ones, because this is a game engine ready rig. So let me explain a little bit about the rig, how it works, what the structure is. All the controllers are in here, and they have the name convention underscore control, like this, so you can select all the controllers doing this. Then you have all the bind joints, using SKL as a skeleton, as you can see, these ones. Then you have here the rigging group. This is the original bind joint group, but because we're using the skeleton, we don't use this one. And in here you have all the nodes and everything, and you have one container that you can open and close using the tools, like lock containers or open containers, so you can see the nodes inside in case you need to debug something or add something. And let's go through some settings. This one is the gear that I mentioned, that we have like the attributes to change controllers. You can also have the space switches in here that we set up. So you have the head, you have the FK arm, IK arm, etc., the eye visibility, and we have the face that, as I mentioned, we have some automation. Let me just hide this one. And when you go here, as you can see, this controller, you can auto push it, going more in or out as you need. And when you go down, this one also have an auto push, so you can increase those kind of shapes. Also this one, when you go like this, you can also have this one having a little bit of wide push, and when you go up, you will also be having push, so you can just set that up. And you also have some constraints, because if you want to move it more or less, you also have that. So you have that power, and here you also have that power in case you want to move the cheek a little bit more fleshy. Also in the nose, you have a little bit, so you can decide whether or not you want that kind of fleshiness, or if you want the animator to be able to control it. So I prefer to have it because it's kind of cool, but because if not, it's going to be looking less fleshy. So, well, I don't select the controller anymore. So there we go. Let's go back. This is where I mentioned that you need to put them like outside so you can create the rolls. So it's not a perfect roll, but it's kind of good. So depending of the pivot is really important for that. Also for this, you want like this to go inside so it looks like real, but you also don't want this to go like really outside, so because this is a really hard shape to do. In here I recommend doing like a blend shape. You can always do blend shapes upon like the deformation of this one, so you have like control over that. And here what I mentioned was it's important for this to rotate. Sorry I didn't put the skinning on the eyebrows. And in here you also want this to be able to rotate, so you can have like nice shapes and stuff. As you can see, it's creating like this kind of automations. And that's this. Then this one is the one that I mentioned, is for the belly, and this one is for the, let me just hide that one, for that kind of movement in the base of the spine. Then we have the push joints, that when you move this, it's going to be helping us correcting the shapes in here, adding elbow, and these are the values that you can control using code, or you can also control using in here. So this is the end position and the start position on this, and what is the rotation and stuff like that from the driver. So that's really useful, and that's basically the rig. Also in here you have a lot of bendy options. Try to position them correctly. You have like some handles going this like that. You also have this for the full live elbow. You have a start and end of every limb, and you have the normal tweakers, so you can have like fancy stuff. All of that is working with a ribbon, so if you need to add like more control over it, you can always add plane shapes to this, or you can add deformers, and that's it. What else do I need to mention? Well, the smart foot roll and the smart hands are these controllers. This is the foot boxes, and that's it. This is the Biped. It's actually really strong, really powerful. This one have some sort of collision going up and down. And hope you like it, and let me know if you have any questions or any recommendations. Have fun rigging, and see you. Bye.